baby. Geez, really closing in now. We're at just a little bit over a month. From Tuesday, it will be a month until the due for our child, holy crap, becoming parents. I guess, yeah, I mentioned in the intro, just, really starting to wrap my head around how my life and all the different commitments I have right now is going to change with a baby coming. But, yeah, it's just, I guess I'll just say what happened this week. Baby stuff that happened this week. People are sending us things, like we made this baby registry, and I didn't realize that people actually respond to these things, and I feel so grateful. Like all these things that I thought we were gonna have to pay for, some things that are pretty expensive, people are sending them to us, and I'm so happy. My brother Nick just got us this incredible playpen thing, which, this is hilarious, by the way. He said the reason he got that, he used to watch Rugrats when he was a kid, and he was talking about how this was it's a very similar playpen to something in Rugrats, and growing up he was always like, I wish I had that playpen. So he wants our son to be able to have that playpen. And what's great about it too is, not only is it good for having a portable way to contain a child, it's also really good for stopping a child from doing other things, figure field, inner, outer, public, private, whatever. We want to put this around the wood stove, for example, when our kid is just around the house, because nothing around our wood stove is safe. So anyway, that's really fantastic. Also baby related, on Friday, one of our neighbors, Sharon and Andrew, we're having a big little bonfire get together with locals and neighbors, and we showed up and we thought it was just a big social thing, and a big part of it turned out to be like a surprise neighborhood baby shower, which was so sweet. All sorts of people brought us these wonderful gifts, everything from diapers to toys to books to the books, by the way, going with the theme of our home baby shower in Vermont last week. Some of the books are edible children's books. They're not edible, but chewable. It's okay for the kid to just be like, oh, on, the very hungry caterpillar. So that was so wonderful, and there was a cake, it said, happy baby, maybe, I don't know what it said, congratulations Liz and Alex, something like that, with a wonderful strawberry shortcake filling. My God, there's still a little bit left in the fridge. I think I will be eating the rest of it tomorrow morning. Anyway, that's really all we are for baby stuff. It's just, yeah, we're really closing in. It's exciting, it's terrifying. I feel like as soon as summer Fridays start, I'm going to be doing a lot more to baby-proof the house, and just make sure I know where everything is. There's a lot of stuff in the garage and the shed. I should just be a little bit more organized with these things. I cleaned the office today, partially so that Liz has a place in there, partially so that I can think more when I'm working on my various projects, and partially because it's if I want the baby to be able to hang out with me in the office, I want to know where everything is and make sure there's nothing dangerous. So cleaning, that's an important thing. Organization, definitely something I hope to get better at, especially with the baby coming. And I want to be able to know, this thing is missing. Well, I definitely left it there, and now I know that the baby moved it somewhere, and not that I'm just forgetting where it is. Anyway, baby stuff. One more quick baby thing. So about a month back, I sat down with a gentleman who was listed as a financial advisor. Turns out he's selling insurance. And that's totally fine. Liz and I sat down with him again this weekend, where he was a little bit more upfront with what his deal is. And we talked about life insurance, we talked about disability insurance, we talked about things that I'm putting in the baby section, because I think before Liz and I were, expecting our first child, I think the assumption was that things would be okay. Something happens to me, something happens to Liz. Obviously terrible, but somehow she could go back to Vermont, I could make my way in New York or something like that, and things would be fine. Now that there's a baby in the picture, I want to make sure that if something were to happen to me, that baby Alex, not his name, would be okay. And so, yeah, then we get in this discussion of life insurance. My office already has a $50,000 policy. It's not going to help them for the rest of their life, but it's something. The thing that's a more interesting discussion to me is disability insurance, because as I think insurance people like to think of it, or a simple way of describing it, a death is a tragedy, disability is a nightmare, because someone gets disabled, there's ongoing costs, there's hospital costs, there's physical therapy maybe, there's all sorts of, maybe a wheelchair ramp or system needs to be installed in the house, all these things that not only might be preventing me from doing my day-to-day life, but can make me a burden for other people. And so anything to mitigate the cost of the potential of something like that, that actually seems more important to me. To use an example, and here's why I'm thinking about maybe this being something that I should be considering purchasing, disability insurance, is because if something were to happen to me that stops me from being able to commute to the city, if I don't have disability insurance, then I got to figure out how to do something from this house, or move back to the city and be closer to my office there or something like that. If I have disability insurance, then I'm covered for something like 95% of what I make working in the city, but I get to stay at home. And then I could actually still work on other projects. It's referred to as double dipping, totally legal, and that's actually a great relief to know, because obviously, yeah, if something happens to me and I can no longer do my normal day, I can't work on as many projects, I can't make as much money, it would be a great relief to know that at least financially we're not going to be struggling as much. Some of that money can go towards whatever is needed, physical therapy, etc., etc. So anyway, that's something that we're thinking about right now. Not the most interesting thing in the world, but yeah, life, babies and life and responsibility and disability and all these things.